Alright guys, so I actually got a new ultra racing strut bar for the Malibu, and it was a little bit of a shot in the dark. I didn't know 100% if it would fit here over top of the air intake, and it does. You can see it just barely clears it. Also, it just barely clears that tab on top of the coolant reservoir, but that's not a big deal. I could have cut that thing off anyway. I don't even know what it does, but it's just useless back there. But it does just barely clear it, and I think it's a better setup too. It goes underneath the strut caps, so you just loosen that nut, take the strut cover off, slide this down. Underneath here, this actually has a foam protector, so that this metal is not just going to be like chipping up the top of the strut tower. The previous strut bar I had in here, it didn't do as good a job. Sorry, let me move my hand. Didn't do as good a job. It connected, and I'll show you in a second, here and here, and on the other side, those two where those blue nuts are, it would attach underneath that AC line. You could just bend that tab up, and I mounted it under there, and it went across fine. The main issue I had with it was a little too flexible when you bend it, and I'll send you another, I'll shoot a link to that video. It just had too much play, and it was, I don't know, kind of a little light. And also, I had a little bit of interference here, like with the intake around the MAF sensor, and that was a pain to get it to fit right. But basically, that one, I have it here because I'm about to ship it out to somebody, but it fit across like that. And I have it wrapped up now, but you could see how they're underneath all this wrapping. There's two holes, and that would secure down to there. Same on the other side. And I got it to fit eventually, but it was just way too flexible and a little too light. And it did help a little bit, but nowhere near as much as this new one, which is great. Like when this one, you see it in the video when I link it, but even when it was attached, it had way too much play. And that made me start thinking about this one. And both of them, I didn't know exactly if they would fit, because they're not really listed as this car. They're listed under maybe like the Regal or Malibu Diesel and all this other stuff. So you didn't know 100% if they would fit, but I was pretty sure they were based on the pictures. This actually has better fitment than the previous. Like I said, the previous one had some interference with that MAF sensor, and I had to screw with the intake a little bit for that to fit. This one here is nice and sturdy. It has a tiny little bit of play, but the other one had like a ton of play. This thing is nice and heavy. This moves just very slightly. You know, so when the body rolls, it a very slight roll, but this feels so much more sturdy, and the car actually bounces around a lot less because you're not getting that body roll. So that's nice. And actually, I weighed these two. This one is a little closer to 5 pounds, whereas the previous was a little under 3. So this one weighs 2 pounds more. And what's 2 pounds when you're talking about, like, you know, something 3 or 5 pounds? It's really adding almost no weight, but it's adding that much more stability and rigidity, and it feels good when you're driving around. It just doesn't bend where that other one was bending. I like this design, how it sits under here, and then, you know, you just tighten this back down, and I use the impact to hammer it down, and it's good. It's nice and sturdy in there, and it feels smooth when you're driving around. Feel bumps a little less. The car won't bounce back and forth. So I like this thing. If you're thinking about getting it, where's that at? So there's the part number. It ends in 3072, and it's listed under Malibu 2.0 diesel. It's actually what they have in maybe in the UK or something like that, maybe Australia, but also definitely in Korea. You can see those first UK or URKR, that actually means Korea, but it's the same car and it fits the same. And like I said, the only place that I was a little worried about clearance was maybe like here, and you have a little enough over here, have enough by the coolant tank, have enough by the intake, so you're good. But give it a whirl. It's listed on eBay like 208 bucks through some sellers. I think my seller was something like Racing Champion. And if you make a, you know, an offer a little bit under asking price, he'll take it. I think we agreed on like 180 or something like that. So he came down like, you know, close to 30 bucks from the list price. And that includes shipping. The only thing is, you're not going to want to ship this back. I tried to ship that previous one back. That's why I'm selling it in the States. It's only costing me through USPS, the Postal Service, like 10 bucks to ship this to Chicago, which is like halfway across the country. This thing, it was going to cost me like a couple $100, I think, to ship like through FedEx or UPS back to Malaysia, because that's where these come from. But this thing came in like only like a week. It came so quick through FedEx, but to ship it back through FedEx, you know, like I said, it's a lot of money. But it's good. I like this, and I recommend it, and it actually makes a difference. Any questions, let me know. Like and subscribe, guys. Thanks. Bye.